is the newsroom.
This is the newsroom for Tuesday, November 5, 2024. We're broadcasting to you on E1, SKAR TV, NTN, and TARZEE TV in Bartica. In the headlines, 3 persons injured and more than 20 houses damaged following storm at Karasabai. Full scholarship and guaranteed employment for 20 Guyanese in offshore sector. Government and private sector tackling corruption together.
Anti-corruption is a fight also for human rights.
And in sport, Fitzpatrick Augustus living his dream as barber and motorbiker, and expect thrilling Group 4 races, says GMR&SC. With the news, I'm Vrishani Raghavar. We're glad you can join us. We start off by telling you that a powerful windstorm hit the Karasabai village in Region 9 on Sunday afternoon, injuring 3 residents and leaving significant destruction in its wake. The village's Tushao, David Albert, told the newsroom that the government has committed to rebuilding efforts. The Civil Defense Commission, CDC for short, has already delivered emergency hampers to affected residents.
Yeah, the storm.
The storm, it was a cyclone. The tornado kind of thing, like cyclone. It damages 4 houses completely, and the other 18 houses, they wall fall down and roof. Some of the roof come off. Some completely, some partial. Some completely and some partial.
So is that 22
CDC was in it.
houses altogether?
Yes.
Okay.
CDC was in here, and we got some relief from them, from Georgetown and from Latam also. The Minister of Marine Affairs was, and our team was on the ground also, up to 6 prayer yesterday. They had back. So we look, we will be getting help from the government.
Is this the first time something like this has happened?
Yes, in Karasabai, yes.
Okay.
We had one Sanskrit like 2 months ago.
Okay. And how long did
Yes.
it last for?
It lasts for like about 5 minutes. It come with breeze, rain.
And was anyone injured?
We had three injuries, but not major. They recover.
Okay.
The zinc fly and cut the girl in her leg, and somebody got a broken nose, and a piece of wood fall on the pregnant lady. But no fatalities.
The modern, state-of-the-art new Enmore Regional Hospital on the east coast of Demerara should be completed early next year and will employ about 1,000 staff. This was revealed by President Dr. Irfan during a visit to the site on Monday. He also visited the modern maternal and pediatric hospital, also under construction at Ogle, East Coast Demerara.
Sometimes people make.
This is the new Enmore Regional Hospital on the east coast of Demerara. Works are moving apace on the facility. This hospital is expected to transform healthcare delivery in Guyana. President Dr. Irfan on Monday visited the site to get a first-hand look at how works are progressing. He was accompanied by Minister of Health Dr. Frank Anthony. The hospital is being built according to international standards and will feature modern state-of-the-art equipment and facilities.
For every room, there are 5 beds.
It's not an open ward system anymore.
It's a modern system, and also we have all digital equipment.
The project is being executed to the tune of $6.6 billion and will see the employment of approximately 1,000 persons, including hundreds of medical professionals.
How much slated to be here? We are looking at maybe about 30 people because they'll have to be at the ownership system. And we're looking at about 300 to 400 nurses, and then another maybe 400 nursing assistants. Then you have clerical staff, you have technical staff.
So this facility is about 1,000 people you'll need to manage it
more than 1,000, yeah.
for a 24-hour.
President Ali also visited and inspected works ongoing at the new pediatric and maternal hospital at Ogle, East Coast Demerara. There, he was not satisfied with the progress. As such, he urged the contractors to speed up work so that the facility can be completed in the first quarter of 2025. To do this, President Ali recommended that they implement a shift system and increase in workforce. Reporting for the newsroom, Sharda Bacchus.
We tell you now that El Dorado Offshore, Noble Corporation, and the Matpal Marine Institute on Monday announced that applications are now open for the Noble Marine Cadet Scholarship Program. This opportunity offers a full-ride 4-year scholarship that culminates with employment in the offshore industry once the successful applicants complete the program.
I can see my dream becoming a reality because of this scholarship, and it is going to take you to heights. It's going to take you to level that you couldn't have think before. So if you're thinking about applying for the scholarship, you could. And I'm telling you, the hands-on work, it's there. You know, it's one thing being in class and being taught about what you should do, but being there in person itself, it is something way different. The experience at the level is good. It's better than good, actually.
That was Cadet Somerset, a current scholarship recipient of the Noble Marine Cadet Scholarship Program. He shared how this opportunity has turned his aspirations into reality despite financial challenges. The program is being offered by Noble in collaboration with El Dorado Offshore and the Matpal Marine Institute. It offers 18 months of classroom-based learning and 18 months of hands-on offshore experience. It provides comprehensive support, including stipends, once cadets commence their offshore training. Renata Khan, Noble's local content manager, said the scholarship, valued at over $100,000 for the 20 cadets annually, ensures participants are fully equipped with laptops and other resources throughout the 4-year journey.
And should you desire to work for Noble, a job is at the end of 4 years for you. So it's a free ride plus employment.
Khan also highlighted the remarkable growth in the Guyanese workforce since Noble's arrival in Guyana in 2017. Starting with just 17 Guyanese on a single drill ship, the number has expanded to over 400 Guyanese nationals across 4 drill ships today. Scholarship recipients must maintain a minimum GPA of 3.2 and at least 85% attendance throughout the program to be successful. Application opens from November 4th, 2024 to December 31st, 2024. Interested candidates can apply by visiting www.eldoradooffshore.com/scholarships. For Newsroom, Isanella Patwa.
When the newsroom returns, we tell you about the new houses being built in Region 8 and about efforts from the government and private sector to tackle corruption. Welcome back. This is the newsroom. Cannabis worth $27.4 million was found and destroyed during a narcotics eradication exercise at Kimbia, Upper Berbice River on Monday. The drugs were discovered on 2 farms by police ranks in Regional Division 10, police headquarters reported. Overall, there were a total of 16,000 plants, 15,000 seedlings, and 54,431 kilograms of dried cannabis. Both farms, along with the nurseries and makeshift camps, were all destroyed by fire. Samples were collected from both farms and lodged at the Mackenzie police station. We tell you now that 3 men were arrested on Monday for the alleged murder of Nigel Summersall, a food vendor of Linden, Region 10. Police headquarters reported that one of the suspects, 55-year-old Calvin Kroll, called Brother Kroll, turned himself in at the Wismar police station accompanied by his lawyer at about 17:54 hours on Monday. 2 other suspects, Jamal Fullington, a 22-year-old construction worker and miner of Victory Valley, Linden, and Shaquan Miller, a 19-year-old pork knocker of Blueberry Hill, Linden, were also arrested earlier Monday. They were arrested for questioning concerning the alleged murder. Further investigations are ongoing. Now, Summersall was reportedly attacked outside of his house early Monday morning. His cousin found his body lying face down in a yard sometime after she heard gunshots outside. Summersall's body was examined and there was one suspected gunshot wound to his chest and what appeared to be a laceration to his head. In the coming months, the government will be constructing 50 houses in 4 communities in Region 8, Bataro Siparuni. Minister of Housing and Water Colin Crowell recently made this disclosure during a visit to the region. The houses are being built under the government's Hinterland Housing Program. For the houses in Muruwa, Crowell said the contract will be inked by the village council sometime this week. The overall aim, he said, is to improve the quality of livelihoods of citizens.
It's part of the Hinterland Housing Program, where we have 400 houses being constructed. So, for example, here in Region 8, as I speak, we have identified Kaibarupai, Tusining, Karisparu, Morwau, and Morwau, sometime by the end of next week, because I understand, well, the contract is ready. I think the contract is ready to be signed, right, CEO, for Morwau? You're aware? So the contract is ready to be signed with the village council, as well as, yes, so we have about 50 houses to be constructed on the Hinterland program, right? And that comes from the state. That comes from the taxpayers. That is come from through your government's budgetary allocation.
Now, the chairman of the Economics and Finance Committee of the Private Sector Commission, PSC for short, Ramesh Duku, on Tuesday said private sector bodies are not happy with the way many regulations are being breached across the country. While they are pleased with the ability of some government agencies to enforce the laws of Guyana, he opined that some laws are applied subjectively by regulators. Speaking at the opening of an anti-corruption workshop by the Ministry of Parliamentary Affairs and Governance at the Pegasus Hotel in Georgetown, Duku posited that one way to help manage corruption would be to increase penalties for those found culpable. Later, while engaging the newsroom, he spoke more about the private sector's concerns.
If you look at our legal framework for corruption, it will take massive collaboration between several agencies to bring a corrupt person or an entity to justice. It's too much. It's almost impossible to do. There's the company, the registrar, there's the company's law, which is not very vague. It's very vague. We need to take all of these pieces of legislation and have an anti-corruption legislation in Guyana, which makes it easy for the police, for the regulators, and everybody else to take you to court and be successful. The penalties also has to be harsh so that we wouldn't even want to risk it. Illicit trade means fake goods using fake brand names. That is putting on a popular brand name on a goods or service maybe that is not representative of the quality that is often associated with that brand name. So, and it's also to do with smuggling. This is an important part of illicit trade. Smuggling takes place with high duty items. Alcohol is at the top of the list. For example, I can tell you 70%, 80% of all the expensive alcohol that comes into Guyana is smuggled alcohol. And that puts a lot of pressure on dealers who pay for advertisements, for other kinds of expenses associated with having a legitimate dealership for a brand. I am aware that several laws are being breached in Guyana, including labor-related laws, where no NIS is being paid in some establishments, no tax is being paid in some establishments, no VAT is being paid in some establishments.
Stakeholders focused on water challenges in the region. This and more stories when the newsroom returns.
Real FM. 93.1 Real FM. It's your favorite station for the best music from then to now.
That's my best friend. She a real bad. If it's up, then it's up, then it's up, then it's stuck.
Welcome back. This is the newsroom. Now, even though Guyana has an anti-corruption framework in place, the Minister of Parliamentary Affairs and Governance, Gail Teixeira, has pointed out that there is still a lot of work and tightening to do in some areas. Speaking at the opening of her ministry's anti-corruption workshop with the Private Sector Commission, where representatives of 26 organizations were present at the Pegasus Hotel in Georgetown, Teixeira praised the framework, pointing out that it tops many other countries. She also spoke about the effects of corruption and the need for a new culture of transparency.
We recognize that corruption removes resources from people and the capacity for their development and well-being. For every dollar that is passed under the table to win a contract or to make someone wealthy, denies an ordinary person maybe access to a good road, or to a school, or to a health center, or to more drugs, pharmaceutical drugs, that is. And therefore, anti-corruption is a fight also for human rights. There's some people feel that there's human rights and anti-corruption. There's a connection. Corruption denies and undermines the use of resources that are given by the taxpayers, for example, in the government case, to enhance and improve the development of our people. And every dollar that is removed from that by questionable activities or by corrupt practices is denying people access to better quality of life. We have to show that we mean business, and we mean business despite who may be our friends and family.
In a recent update, the director of the National Blood Transfusion Service, Dr. Pedro Lewis, provided insights into the operations, partnerships, and improvements at the country's only blood bank located within the Georgetown Public Hospital. This blood bank is responsible for collecting, screening, and distributing blood to regional and private hospitals nationwide. Dr. Lewis explained that they now use SMS reminders to encourage their 15,000 donors to keep donating blood to meet growing needs.
There's one blood bank in the entire country. Here is Central Georgetown, located in the Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation, is where we do collection, screening, distribution to all sites, including regional hospital and private hospitals. But of course, we have collection sites who just does collection of whole blood, and they send the product here where we do all the processing. So we have collection sites in Region 2, Region 3. Here we collect also Region 6, Region 9, and Region 10. We collaborate with more than 400 organizations, which include government, non-governmental organizations, church, mandir, mosque, throughout the country. So it's not just in Region 4 we do collection in Region 3, we do collection in Region 2. Persons going into the collection site, and also we do blood drives. We know that you're donating for somebody, but they got a personal importance to the donor themselves. Of course, it reduces cholesterol in your body, in your bloodstream. So when you donate, it helps to get rid of those bad fat, as we know it as cholesterol, triglycerol, and it prevents heart attack, prevents heart issues. Most persons will tell you that, they feel good afterwards. More than 15,000 donors in our software, like 13,000 persons a year may show up to our centers, right? Some may be deferred to come on a later day. Most of them get to donate. So to call back, 15,000, 13,000 persons might be difficult. Now, we have a software that could send out SMS messages to donors. We lately installed that. That's a feature that, we welcome, and we hope to utilize that part. So now you're going to see us, you're going to hear us asking for a person email address. And we want to make sure too that we have the correct phone numbers for the donors so that we could remind them. You could be walking around with hepatitis C, hepatitis B. But I'm telling people, you know, I'm not telling you to come and donate to be tested, right? But if you have infections like hepatitis C, which, you know, you can't tell just by looking at somebody that you have hepatitis C unless you do a blood test, as long as the blood bank picked it up, you could be treated and you could be cured of hepatitis C and other infections. For one, the blood bank, what we do is that we don't wait until, you know, a particular hospital run out before we go and get blood. Every hospital is allowed to keep a stock level of blood, right? Most of our blood is in circulation. It's being stored in the hospital. We encourage them to store it, a stock level in the case of obstetric patients. Those are the most important and most critical patients that need blood. I'm not saying that we don't focus on accident patients and chronic anemia patients and so on. Those are the patients, chronic anemia patients, they could wait. But if you have a bleeding patient, obstetric patient, a mother, they need blood like yesterday. So I think this is a message that we need to, you know, send to the public, and not those persons waiting until their relative in the hospital to come and donate. The relative will not make it in time if they have to wait on your blood, right? It's someone else's blood will save their life. So it's basically you help me and I will help you sometime in the future.
And we tell you now that countries within the Caribbean grapple with significant water challenges coupled with the effects of climate change. Secretary General of the Caribbean Community, Dr. Carla Barnett, on Monday said failure to address those water challenges will further jeopardize the region's progress on key areas such as food and nutrition security, poverty reduction, and sustainable development. So to secure a sustainable water future, Dr. Barnett said there's a need for comprehensive water management plans while prioritizing sustainability and resilience. In doing this, she said technology solutions should be leveraged. Community engagement and the implementation of effective governance are equally vital.
Water is a critical resource for life. Some, not all, of our CARICOM member states have been blessed with an abundance of freshwater resources such as rivers, waterfalls, and lakes. Climate change, however, is profoundly impacting all aspects of life in our region, including our water supply. Sources of fresh water are under threat from climate variability, contributing to an increase in both floods and droughts, while sea level rise is accelerating saltwater intrusion into underground aquifers. Increasingly, natural disasters, primarily hurricanes, also lead to floods. Biodiversity and ecosystem loss and damage to infrastructure is also severe. These impacts are compounded when debt burdens worsen with every global external shocks as we experience from time to time. Water management challenges in the Caribbean are therefore significant. Firstly, across our region, we are faced with aging physical infrastructure, with many parts of our distribution systems having been built deep in the colonial era, resulting today in high levels of what we euphemistically refer to as non-revenue water, whether through leakage or through informal connections. This weakens our ability to meaningfully strengthen water governance and regulation of the sector. This at the same time that population growth, urbanization, and economic development challenges lead to increased demand for water. Since effective water management relies on solid policy frameworks and water governance structures, a holistic and participatory approach to water management is best likely to maximize positive results.
When the news returns to financial, weather, and bridge reports along with sport news. Welcome back to the newsroom. Now for a look at what's happening in sport, and we start things off with some motor racing news. Now, motorsport may be dangerous, but undoubtedly exhilarating, and in the case of Fitzpatrick Augustus, it is like a breath of fresh air. It is not often that you hear of a barber who is passionate about being a competitive motorbiker, but Augustus is making his name known. He will be on a packed grid of motorbikes come November 10 for the ENET Clash of Champions race meet at the South Dakota circuit.
When you're up there, the adrenaline, it just is a feeling you can't really like explain, but it just like, it takes away everything. For me, it takes away everything. Stress, everything was like what going on around me. When I'm up there, it takes away everything. To tell the truth, it all started from bicycle. Yeah, from bicycle. Then I used to admire them big man with them 90. And I said, when I grow up, I got to forget 90. But then I realized when I grew up, 90 was very outdated. And it kicked off from there. Because the Porsche, my first motorcycle was in 2006. And from then on, continue.
Certainly a man of many trades, as Augustus has been a professional barber for over 20 years, and it is a job he stated has been extremely fulfilling.
I could remember it clearly. I was like 15 years old, and the day me and my nephew was home. My nephew was like about 5, and I look at him and I say, come, sit down here. And I start jibbing you up, and that's where it started. Well, I dropped out of school a bit early. And from there I went to national service, was in 98. And after the national service I went to the army. I spent like about 2 years in the army. And before all that I used to do joinery work. And then when I get to this barbering now, I realized that this is for me. This is what I love.
For the thrill of the two-wheel action, that love started since 2019, when he wanted to be a competitor, but due to financial constraints, that dream was delayed for 10 years. But the financial struggle is still there, but the love for the sport keeps him going.
The struggling is monetary. I'm not really getting any sponsors. Got a few people that's helped me out, yes, but it's still a bit of a struggle. Right now I'm struggling with my bike. I'm testing it like whole month and I ain't getting through with it. I tried something this morning before I come here, and I'm going up and test it tomorrow to see if it can be better.
Part of Piranha's Motorcycle Club, Augustus plans on putting in as much work he can on his Yamaha R6 as he ultimately hopes to be on the podium on race day. For the newsroom, Akim Green.
The success of Guyana's track and field team at the just concluded Inter-Guyana Games in French Guiana did not go unnoticed, with Guyanese businessman Wayne Lewis rewarding some of the athletes and coaches with Frederick M. fragrances. For more than 40 years, Frederick M. has been manufacturing and creating beauty and well-being solutions in province inspired by the best natural ingredients in the world. Today, Frederick M. is sold worldwide by more than 40,000 independent distributors. Guyana copped 42 medals, 21 gold, 15 silver and 6 bronze in track and field at the Games, easily taking the overall championship from host nation French Guyana and Suriname. Lewis said he and his wife were inspired by the remarkable performances of the athletes, hence their decision to reward them.
My name is Wayne Lewis, born Guyanese, but I live in French Guyana for 13 years. And on behalf of myself and wife, representative of Frederick M., a perfume company from France, we would have seen the dominance and the talent of the Guyanese athlete that leave Guyana and come and showcase their talent here. And it was an overwhelming joy. So we take it on us, and we're glad for this opportunity to present this token to these wonderful and remarkable athletes. I see this athlete's future very bright, and I want to take the advantage to be on that train. So I would like to partner with these athletes so we can go forward. Yeah. To be honest, I used to coach for the Athletic Association in French Guyana. And a long time I was telling the president, why you guys don't bring Guyana here? Cause I was telling them, you guys have all the facilities, but the athletes are not progressing, they are not developing. I told them many times, if these athletes go to Guyana, the Guyanese would be them bad. So I tell her, bring the Guyanese here. They bring Suriname, and finally Guyana came here, and what I have at foreseen came to pass. The Guyanese dominate all the track and field event. And to be honest, I am so excited, I'm happy to see that. That's my objective, that's my plan. I always want to do something like this. So true, my advice to them is patience, stay focused, discipline. All the time. Without discipline, without patience, without focus, from experience, you can't make it. So my advice to them is discipline. Listen to your coach. You're never too big to learn, you know. You always learn. The game is all about stay learning. You must never be too big to learn. Listen to your coach, stay disciplined, patience, your time gonna always come. As a wise man said, if you don't prepare when your time comes, you lose the time. But when you prepare, your time sure gonna come. So that's my advice to these youngsters.
An electrifying Group 4 showdown is expected at the E-Net Caribbean Clash of Champions on November 10 at the South Dakota Circuit. With over 12 drivers, including some of the biggest names in motorsport, the premier class promises high-speed action and intense competition, according to the president of the Guyana Motor Racing and Sports Club, Mahendra Raj Budu.
Preparations on par, and we are working to finalize the fine little bits and pieces, and we should be perfect, close to perfect for the day events. We have presently over 80 registered, and there are quite a few that we know of that is participating that is not registered yet. So we will be touching that 100 mark in terms of participants and drivers and riders. We have one of the biggest grid ever in the motorcycle group. We have over 18 competitors already registered. Then the group 4 is going to be a big crowd puller, where we have the likes of Kevin Jeffrey coming back, Christian Jeffrey is going to be there, Andrew King seems to think he can win it.
Just on group 4,
Vishok Prasad is a leader in the point standing. So it is a major event, a major attraction for this races. So we have more than 4 competitors from the US that's racing in that group. So it is going to be a startling group to look at.
Legendary racer Andrew King is set to make a comeback at the ENET Caribbean Clash of Champions on November 10. After recovering from injury, King is ready to take on the competition with his upgraded RX-7. With a remarkable history of dominating the track, including his memorable performance in 2019, King is aiming to reclaim the top spot.
I've been around motor racing for quite some time. My name's Andrew King. Been racing this RX-7 Mazda for the last number of years. I'm coming back from some physical restrictions that I had. So we've done some work to the car in terms of rebuilding the engine. It's now being broken in. We're putting some miles on it, and at the same time I'm trying to get some track time. So I've got a lot of work to do over the next few days, particularly in getting myself more familiar with the track. I've raced on the new track from the time it was built, but truth be told, I don't have a lot of miles on the track, so I still need to put in a lot of time. So I've kind of committed to my team to do that over the next few days. So I know the car is going to be up to speed. We've done a lot of work on it. It has a lot of potential. So I'm hoping to be in winner's circle come next Sunday. The new cars have a lot of electronic gadgets in them that are basically driver aids. We don't have all of that currently. We've got flat shift, we've got some anti-lock brakes in place. But the design, the tube chassis that I'm driving has tremendous potential. I've never done any time better than 1:18.789, somewhere around here. But there's no reason I can't shave a second or second and a half off of that and become competitive. My only message for fans would be to come out and support.
The Indian Premier League 2025 mega auction will be held on November 24 and 25 in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. It is being held overseas for the second consecutive year. 2024 was in Dubai. Unlike regular auctions, the mega auction, which takes place every 3 years, is spread over 2 days instead of just one. It is one of the most followed events in cricket, as the 10 IPL franchises build their squads for the next 3 years. That is 2025 to 2027. By November 4, the deadline for registration, 1,574 players, including 1,165 Indian and 409 overseas, had registered for the auction. Each franchise can build a squad of up to 25 players, which means that after retention, there will be 204 slots available at the auction. And with that, we've come to the end of this evening's newscast. Of course, you can find these and other stories at our website, newsroom.gy. You can also check out our social media pages, Newsroom Guyana, for other updates. On behalf of the news and technical teams, I'm Vishani Raghavar. Thank you for watching.